All right, we are back with another episode of the HSL Let's Go podcast. We are at episode 134, our second episode today. We just got out a nice softball podcast, which Jeff loves, his favorite sport. And now we are ripping out a big HSL basketball podcast. And this is a huge one, probably the biggest one we've done so far. It's going to be quick, but we had to get on here and do it because there's so many moving pieces going on right now. This coming week is the final week of the basketball regular season. We have a lot of fun stuff, hopefully, in the works for the championship game, but in playoffs, obviously. But first, we got to get through the season, and there are many, many teams in both Tier 1 and Tier 2 who are either playing for seeding or playing for the playoffs. So it's a lot going on, and we're very proud to announce, before I get to you, Jeff, that between all 24 HSL teams, both in Tier 1 and in Tier 2, officially only 2 are eliminated, which is unbelievably insane. One in each tier. There are 11 teams alive officially, technically, that have a shot at it going to the last week. And like I said in the softball podcast, that's what you want. That's our biggest goal, is to, as even competition as possible for teams to be able to compete and be alive and win. And we're super thrilled about that. We're going to get into the scenarios. We're going to break it down. We're not 1,000% sure, but we have a very good idea thanks to ChatGPT and us going back and forth a little bit. Before we do, Jeff, any words for the pod?
Let's just get started, baby. Let's get it on. We're up here, week 9. I think my volume is actually working this time, so I might sound somewhat professional.
It is.
Just excited to get started. Do you want to do power rankings first? Do you want to do the playoff
Let's
scenarios?
go through.
What do you want to do?
Yeah, let's first go through playoff scenarios, because much as I love power rankings and getting teams all on edge and upset at me for putting them in spots, I think we're limited on time. As your kids are coming home, you got to get this done first. My kid's gonna wake up in like 20 minutes from his naps. Let's. Why are you laughing? Have your kids arrived and you're listening to me say that?
I'm
Is
just
that what
looking at
happened?
something. I'm tracking my.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay, fine.
Probably
So
not
we
making
have
this.
let's get this. So let's go through this first. So Jeff and I will spend a little bit of time today going back and forth between the different opportunities. We plugged into the ChatGPT. We did a little chazara, as they call it in the yeshiva world. So let's go through. Let's start with Tier 2. And let's just go straight through the standings, and with the help of ChatGPT. So let's pull it up here, Jeff, and let's run through what's going on. We have a very exciting final week,
You
like
want to go from 12 to
thrilling
1
final
or
week to say the
12?
least. Well, let's
You
start
want
with
12
Tier
to 1 or
2. Let's go from bottom to let's go bottom to top. So in Tier 2,
Gotcha.
the only team that is not playing for anything this week beside for Pride is Day 3. I love Day 3. I love LA Bosch, our amazing sponsor. However, Day 3 is eliminated. A huge shout out though to the Day 3 captain. Not only is he a great ball player, he's an even better person, an awesome guy, and their team brings absolute vibes to the league, which we are very, very thankful for. Jeff, your screen's frozen. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I don't see you, but
Okay, but
I hear you.
Okay, your screen's frozen, but as long as you hear me, the recording will pick it up. But amazing vibes, and I said that he has a core of guys, and you saw it, Jeff, and you could speak on it. He has a core of guys that I think if he builds around for the next season in the fall, I really think he'd come back stronger. What do you think?
What's going on, man? All right, so we played them our last game right before the season, right before the Pesach break, and they had a couple of really good players. They had some really good shooters, guys that could really light it up. I think their issue with, they only came like 5 or 6 guys, a couple of subs that we just said we don't care, let them play. I mean, again, if you bring these 5 guys, you maybe add 1 or 2 good pieces, they can be a solid team next year or next season in the fall. Josh just has to kind of get his guys in order, get them in check, and just come back better next season. I know that one kid, I think his last name was Sharifian or whatever it is, the guy had like
Yeah,
8 or 9
he
days
had a
ago.
great game last game.
Yeah, we really didn't have much of an answer, and I think we were in control of that game, 50-20 most of the game, and that was with the bench.
Correct. So huge shout out to Josh Rahani and the boys for joining, but they are eliminated. Okay, now let's look forward into the other teams. Let's go back to number 11 here. Or let's go least to most. We'll go through every team. We'll tell you according to ChatGPT. This is not perfectly correct, so please do not rely on every word we're saying here. but it's as accurate as we can get as things are so complicated. But now let's get into the next team. The next team is KGN Mixology. They're coming in at 2-5. They've had a solid season, a very tough luck season, right? A couple of very close losses. KGN right now seems to need a win plus a lot of help. They need a win. I think they need two or three other teams to lose. So I guess the first starts with a win, and they're going up against Maba Capital, who had a really big game last game. What do you think KGN is gonna have on their plate heading into the final week of the season, Jeff?
So last I spoke to some of the guys from KGN, they said a lot of their guys are not going to be available in this upcoming game.
Yeah, they have
So
a
I just
short
even if
roster,
they
maybe
were
five or
available,
six guys.
I think that even I think Dove not showing up to their last game really hurt them a lot because that was kind of a game that they needed to have.
Hmm.
But I don't think they have enough to beat Mava. I think Mava figured something out. I think they have something now. I think when they played against us, they were really challenged against us and they were really close to us most of the game. Granted, Sam didn't show up till about 9 or 10 minutes left in the game,
Yeah.
which completely flipped the script on. But I think that Mava is going to win, and I think that personally, I believe Mava is going to be that eighth team to get in. I just think they have too much on their team between Ellie and the kid Mikey, and they have the veterans, they have some of the young kids. I think that Mava is going to actually steamroll KGN.
Wow. All right. Well, next we got Crown Care. Crown Care needs to beat Barbacoa, which is not easy. Although I think we'll get to Barbacoa. I think they're pretty much locked into their spot. So I don't know how much they're playing for, but Crown Care needs to beat Barbacoa. They need Gordon Companies to lose, and potentially another one or two teams, depending on how tiebreakers work out. Obviously, Crown Care felt very strongly. They had a shot in the last game and got burnt by refereeing calls. I wasn't there. Jeff was. Jeff said it was pretty bad, which is tremendously unfortunate. They were missing their big man, Avrami Zegobaum, who Baruch Hashem got engaged, but also Crown Care lost a couple of tie battles. And with Avrami, you never know, they could have won. So again, another tough luck team in Crown Care, still somewhat alive, but chances very slim heading into the final week.
Again, Crown needs a lot of help. They need to win, and then they need, I believe,
Gordon
Mava
to
to
lose
lose
and
and Gordon
Mava
to
to
lose.
lose, Gordon to lose, and potentially another
One
team
of
to
them
lose,
have to
depending
lose.
on.
Yeah. So again, it's unfortunate. I think they got really hurt when Prager got hurt. I think if Prager is there against Wabizu, I think it's a very different game because they needed that spacing, that shooting. Love Omar as a ref. I think he had a pretty poor game refing that game. It was a lot of stuff when I watched it back. There was a lot of just calls that went against Crown. So I understand where they're coming from. It sucks, but it's part of basketball. It's part of the game. You're not gonna, if a referee pitches 100%, it's very unlikely it's gonna happen that the referee is gonna have a perfect game. And so I
Correct.
think Crown is just one of those teams that is just gonna be they're gonna miss the playoffs just because of availability. It's a testament to how tough Tier 2 has gotten. Where this is
Also, Zalman Pollock, he's not an all-star, but he's a good role player, and he's been out almost a whole year due to injury.
this is just
So
again a testament to how strong Tier 2 has become this season. Crown Care was in the finals last season in a very close game against Barbacoa in the finals. And here they are, 2-5, potentially looking at 2-6, missing the playoffs. This again, Blisco and Pollock, they got to go and just rebuild. They had a good team. They just got to get everybody out. What do I say? Best ability is availability, and
that's
Crown Care
true.
is a perfect example of it.
I agree. Well, moving on now from Crown Care, JB Deals, a team that looked dead in the water all season. Listen, they lose, they're done. So that's simple as that. It's a must-win game for them, which they have to win. But if they do win, they also need either a Mava loss or
No,
a
even if they tie,
Gordon Cup.
if they have a tiebreaker over Mava, Mava blew that 20-point lead against them, so
Correct. So
they
according,
have a tiebreaker over Mava and Gordon Companies.
So according to ChatGPT, they would need a win and either a Mava, Gordon, or Altbank loss due to tiebreakers. So are any of them playing
So
each
I don't
other?
think Mava is playing KGN. Old Bank is playing. I'm not even sure. I'm not sure.
Mava's playing KGN. Let me check. Mava's playing KGN. Altbank is playing against.
TJ,
Altbank's playing TJB. So TJB is playing Altbank. So
yeah,
if TJB beats Altbank, they seem to be in the playoffs according to this. It looks if TJB wins,
yeah,
um,
and Mava would be the tough luck loser because TJB
well,
has
we'll
the
get to Mava in
tiebreaker
a
over
second, but it
Mava.
seems to be a TJB win. They're being Altbank, a TJB win, and they should be in the playoffs. So TJB needs to win. They win, and seemingly they're in. Again, don't take our word for it. We'll have to reconstruct after, but that's what it looks like from here. Now getting into,
Basically, if you're
oh,
watching this,
yeah,
play to win.
play to win. Correct. Getting
That's it.
into
Play to win.
um, getting into Altbank. Um,
Not all big. We're up to now.
we're at. I see here. I see Allbank. Mava's. Oh, here Mava. Sorry. Getting into Mava
Mava needs to
Capital.
win, and they need a win and a TJB deals loss, and they're basically
Correct.
locking
A
in.
win and a TGB loss, and even if TGB wins, there's according to ChatGPT a strong chance they still make it due to tiebreaker.
Because
They
it's looking
according to
at point differential.
ChatGPT, yeah, from all
Mhm.
point differentials and head to heads, it seems like Mava has the best overall chance if they win of still making it, regardless of other opponents. But again, there is still a chance Mava could win and still be out due to other teams winning or losing. Again, the story here in Mava is you win, you have a really good chance, you lose, you're eliminated. So again, Mava, TJB, Crown Care, and KGN, obviously some have better chances than others, but the one theme for all of them is a loss and they're eliminated. So they must win to stay alive in the playoff race. Um, Next up, we have Alpink. Now, Alpink is the first team that we're up to, which does not necessarily get eliminated with the loss since they have 3 wins already. A win and they clinch. A loss, and they need
Mava, TJB,
Mava
and Crown.
and Crown to lose. So they're in a lot of trouble if they lose. I think Mava's playing who's no, Crown's playing Barbacoa. Yeah, they're all playing separate teams. So if they lose, they really need they need a bunch of help. So Allbank really needs to win in order to make it to the dance. Who's Allbank playing again? They're playing against
Is it
day
TJB?
three.
No,
Day three.
three.
They're in a good spot.
Depends.
So if Allbank wins
Depends
and
what
they
day.
and they'll make the playoff.
It depends what day three team shows up.
Yeah, even if their best team shows up, though, I still have confidence in Allbank, especially needing a win to be in. Like I think they'll show up and they'll win that game. I think fairly
You
easily.
never know what opening team you're gonna get. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's very true, and we saw that very clearly. So that's all big. Now let's go to Gordon Companies. Gordon Companies
Winning.
3-4 also. A win and they're in. A loss, they need at least two of the 2 and 5 teams to lose, which is Mava, TJB, Crown Care, KGN. Um, yeah, those
So
four. They need two of them to lose.
Gordon
So it's that
obviously
simple for
has
Gordon.
the tiebreaker. I think Gordon has the tiebreaker over Mava, but they lost to Crown and TJB.
Correct, which is why if they lose, they need two of the remaining
Yeah.
4 teams to lose. So again, Gordon Companies, you win, you're in. You lose, you rely on other people. Never want to rely on other people. Okay, so now we're done with the people who are on the bubble, sort of say. Now we're into the teams that clinch. So congratulations to Barbacoa, Addictive Receipts, Biggie Meats, Wabizzery, and Clutch Auto Trade. They have all clinched the playoffs. I don't have here the scenarios for them.
I have it right
I don't
here.
know if you. Okay,
As of
go
this
ahead.
moment, Barbacoa and Addicted Receipts are on a crash course for in the first round. The
So you're
only
saying they're
way that
automatically playing each other? Or is there a chance one of them get out of the 4-5?
it's either one of them is gonna be 4 or 5. I think the top three seeds are locked in. I think the only way that changes is if Addictive Receipts beats Wabizzery. Addictive Receipts would jump into the 2 spot or the 3 spot. Yeah, they would be the 3 seed. Then the winner of Clutch and Big E would be the 1 seed.
So Biggie and Clutch are locked in at two of the top three. Well, Busy could fall out if they lose to Addictive Receipts.
Yeah.
So Barbacoa
So
is
there's a
sitting pretty
chance
at 5.
that yeah. But there is a chance that Wabizzery would be matched up with Barbacoa in the first round.
If they could
And
drop. And
if
now,
I'm anybody, I
now,
don't.
how about the battle for the 1 seed? Could Busy get the 1 seed over Clutch?
Yes. So Wabizzery gets the 1 seed if Big E meets wins and they beat Addictive Receipts.
If Biggie meets defeats Clutch and Busy beats Addictive Receipts.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
Okay. So a lot.
Wabizzery would
Yeah.
have to win, and Big E meets wins. If both Wabizzery and Big E meets, Wabizzery gets the 1 seed due to the tiebreak over Big E meets. If Big E meets beats Clutch, if Big E meets beats Clutch Auto and Addictive beats Wabizzery, Big E meets would be the 1 seed. If Clutch wins, they're the 1 seed. And basically,
So
it's the
really,
one
the
seed
top
between.
3 teams could all get the 1 seed. Could Addictive get the 1 seed or no?
No, they have no chance with the 1 seed.
Okay. So Clutch, Busy, and Biggie all get the 1 seed.
No, wait, no, they wouldn't get it. It's
And what
impossible. The
Busy could
highest.
fall potentially to Barbacoa. So Barbacoa really has nothing to play for, which is huge for Crown Care. And again, Crown Care needs help, but Barbacoa really has zero to play for here. They're seemingly locked into the 5, and I think they have everyone playoff eligible, right? They don't need anybody else more playoff eligible. I think they're good to go in that
Yeah,
sense.
I think
So
everybody. I think Khalili played 3 games. Brian has played 3 games. Ibrahimi's played 4 games, five
well, they
games,
need
whatever it is.
4. Well, they only have 2 guys that can play 3. Everyone else needs 4, but I think even 4. I think like their whole roster comes every game. They're very good with that usually. So I think they're locked in. There you go. A lot of moving pieces in tier 2, and it only gets crazier in tier 1. So let's buckle in here as we go through tier 1
Tier one
quickly.
is a mess.
So tier 1, we have one
That's a mess.
eliminated team. Yeah, we have one eliminated
2.
team.
Uh,
One eliminated team. J and
JZ.
Z eliminated 2-6. Think of Yona Barsky. Twillery is 1-5. Twillery not eliminated. They have 2 games left. They need to beat two of the best teams in the league. They need to beat
they're
MS
eliminated.
Motors
They're eliminated.
Toasted,
They're eliminated.
and they need to beat who else are they playing?
Fly.
MS Motors
They're eliminated.
Toasted, and I think Vly. They
Oh,
need to beat
Vly.
both of them
No, no, no. They already played Vly. Vly beat them playing Rides to Fly.
on Rise to Fly. So they need to
Goodbye.
be both. Yeah, goodbye is a good word. They need to be both of them, and they need to have Michal Crone lose, Fine Lines lose, Ceramian lose.
Goodbye. Next.
So if they win, I'll let them. If they make the playoffs, I'll let them ride free next season. All right, next we Holy Schnitzel 2-5, also very dangerous. They need a win or they're out. So that's it. That's in. Even if they win, they need multiple 3-4 teams to lose. So again, Holy Schnitzel needs to win. I think they need. We have 4 3-4 teams. I think they need any three of them to lose. So again, Holy Schnitzel, you need to win, hope for the best. But again, a loss for Holy Schnitzel and they're out. So it's very simple.
Play to win.
Yeah,
That's
and
it.
same with Michel Crow Music, also 3-4. They also need
Even
to
if they
win.
win, they need help.
Even if they win, they need a little bit of help. If they lose, they're eliminated. If they win, they need at least two of the teams above to lose, which means
They
they
need
need
us to
between
lose. They need
Ceremian, Fine Lines, Cheese Store. Um,
and they need Silver Key to
that's
lose
it.
because Silver Key needs to lose for them because they would have a tiebreaker over Silver Key. So Silver Key would be
Oh,
locked in, but
you're only 1 game ahead of them.
yeah, Michel would jump Silver Key.
Ah, got it. Yeah,
Again,
so
this
they
is
need
my
two of those
final.
4 teams to lose.
Yeah.
They need to win and two of those 4 to lose. So Michel Krona is some again. You need to win and you hope for the best. If they lose, again, they're out. Okay, so that there goes the the losing out teams again. Must win games for Michel Krone. Must win game for Holy Schnitzel. Must win game for Twillery. Janesy is already eliminated.
Okay.
Um, and now
Unfortunately.
let's jump ahead to the Cheese Store. Now here's the win and clinch games. Cheese Store. If you guys win, you guys clinch. If you guys lose, you need two of the following teams to lose: Fine Lines, Michel Krone, and Ceremian. You need two of those three to lose in order to make the
No,
playoffs, even if
Fine
you
Lines is
lose.
playing Cerulean. Fine Lines is playing
What?
Cerulean, so you have Fine Lines is
So you
playing
need Michel
Cerulean.
Krone to lose. So you need Michel Krone to
Yeah,
lose. You need Michel Krone to
that's it.
lose.
Michel has to
So
lose.
yeah. So if the Cheese Store loses, your season rides on Michel Krone losing. Who's Michel Krone playing?
Michel is playing, I believe, is it not the Vipers? No. Is it? Michel
They're
is
playing the
playing.
Vipers. Yeah, they're playing the Vipers.
Depends who shows up for the Vipers.
Wait, if they're playing the Vipers, that means that that means that 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 means that Twillery is playing MS
Right.
Motor.
To fly.
Uh, right, and right. MS Motor Toasted and Rights to Fly. Fine. So yeah, meaning Cheese Store season is gonna. If they lose, it's gonna rely on on Dylan Kaufman and the boys to take down Michael Crow Music. And that's a tough game, especially with Ruben on the team.
Yeah. Also, fine
Fine
lines.
Lines
Winning
is
you're in.
yeah, similar 3-4 also. When they're in, and a loss, they're even harder for them to get in.
I
Then you
just want
Michael
to
Crow
say
loss.
fine line.
Yeah,
Just want
a
to
win and they're
add fine
in.
line. Just really
Uh,
impressed by them.
yeah,
They started 1-3 this season. 0-3 this season. To be right here, it's pretty impressive. It's really nice what they're doing. It's a good, solid team over there.
correct. Again, another big game for them. A win, and they're in. They're playing against
They're
Ceramian.
playing Suriname.
So tough matchup. If they lose, they need Michel Krone to lose, Ceramian to lose, and even if both of them lose, there's a multi-team tie that they need the point differential. So again, fine lines. They need a win. If they win, they're in. They control their destiny, but if they lose, things get very dangerous. Um, so that knocks out a lot all the win and in scenarios, lose and dangerous. The remaining teams: Silver Key, Fly Vipers, MS Motor, Toasted, Nabogs, and Rides to Fly. Congratulations, you've all clinched. Rides to Fly clinches the 1 seed. Now, 2 through 4 is where things get a little dicey. I don't have the scenarios right here, as my handy dandy ChatGPT didn't write it down for me. I don't know if you have any thoughts on 2 through 4. Right now, Nava's at the 2, MS Motor Toasted at the 3, Vipers at the 4, and Silver Key at the 5.
I think that we looked over it. I believe that Nava's point differential is pretty high. I think they have like a 40 point, a plus 40 over
Yeah, they're pretty
MS
much locked
Motors.
in at 2. I don't think they're moving from
Yeah,
2.
so they're
It's
pretty much
almost
locked in
impossible.
winner or loser. I believe MS Motors. I don't know if they played Valai or not. But I mean, I'm gonna give them the win. I think MS Motors is the three. I think they're basically locked into the three. I don't see a world where
Yeah, they're
Twillory
playing
beats
Twillory.
them.
They'll be locked. They'll be locked in at the three. It's really a matter of Vly versus Silverkey at 4 and 5. You guys are playing each other, right? No, you're not.
No, no, we're playing Nava's Wigs.
Huh. So you need a win and a Vly loss to get to the four.
Yeah, so if we win, Valai loses, we're at the four. If we lose and like Michel wins, Michel drops us, we could drop all the way to the play-in game, but we're locked into at least the play-in game.
But you're locked in. Okay, so it seems very much set. Like I said, it's a great thing when we're going to the final week of basketball and we have all these teams alive and battling out. The theme of this podcast is not to exactly calculate how could I make it even if I lose. The theme of the podcast is the teams that need a win to stay alive, you better win. The teams that need a win to clinch, you better win. Now, if the team need a win to stay alive, you lose, you're done. If you need a win to be in, then okay, you still have a chance. But don't take from this podcast that you said that even if I lose, like, forget that. We're just going through that. We're trying to do the best you can to get exact measurements out there. We might not be totally accurate. We'll have to reevaluate, obviously, based on tiebreakers once this week's over. The tiebreakers are as follows. Again, just to spell out, tiebreaker number 1 is head-to-head. Tiebreaker number 2 is point differential. However, caveat there is, if there's more than 2 teams tied, for example, there are 3 teams tied at 5-3, the tiebreaker goes by head to head between those 3 teams. Even if one of those 3 teams are only 1-0 and only played one of the 2 teams, and the other 2 teams are 1-1 each, the 1-0 team will be the 1 seed in that scenario. The 1-1 teams will then tiebreaker point differential will then be decided between the 2 1-1 teams. So again, head to head and then point differential. However, when there's more than 2 teams tied, it goes to head to head between those teams, whether it's 3, 4, or 5 teams. Just to be clear again, so no one's upset after. Right,
Right?
Jeff?
Yeah, I think it's pretty basic. It's the same way the NBA does, the same way everybody does it, except the point
Right.
differential. The point differential is
Except point
something that we
differential,
we play.
which yeah, I did that in my men's softball league. It's pretty consistent with a lot of the sports leagues out there. All right, so there it is. So that's your what to look forward to. We got a jam-packed week: 4 games Sunday, 4 games Wednesday, 4 games Thursday. We got 12 games. We're looking forward. It should be a lot of fun. I'll see you there Sunday and Wednesday, and I cannot wait for an awesome final week of the regular season. Thanks for coming on, Jeff.
Power ranking? You want to do a quick power ranking for the
Nah,
guys or nah?
we could do power rankings. My kid just woke up 3 minutes ago, so I'm gonna go. So we
All
will
right,
not do
you
power
go
rankings.
ahead.
We still have another week. We could do a final power rankings at the end of the regular season heading to the playoffs, so we could do that as well.
Sounds good. Take it easy, guys. Shabbat shalom.
Thanks, Chef. Shabbat shalom. Bye.